Hey everyone, it's Ben from Boom Island Marketing again, and today I'm going to be bringing you a really cool automation slash like website building tool. It's kind of like show you how to build like a micro SaaS. What we're actually going to be doing is building a thumbnail generator. So basically, using Placid app, which is we've made videos about before, but using that, integrating it into Make.com, you can actually like set up like a post style without any of the images or anything in it, um, so that we can generate like basically thumbnails and text on them and that kind of thing. And you could obviously do this for lots of other types of posts as well, like Instagram, other social medias. We're just using YouTube thumbnails in this one today. Um, we're going to be working in Make.com. We're going to be using ChatGPT, Placid app, which I just talked about, and then I'll be showing you in the video. Cloud Convert, Zero Code Kit, and Card, along with Cloud. Oh, I have this on here twice. Along with Cloud Convert. So those will be your main like stuff that we're using to actually build this, and then YouTube is just we're making a thumbnail for YouTube, and then other social media are just like if you wanted to do a similar automation for Instagram or something like that. But I'm actually going to show you how you can like build this out into basically a website so that you could start selling this custom service today. So let me just take you a quick overview of everything. So here is the automation first. Um, and once again, if you don't feel like copying everything or following along, the download will be available below. Um, yeah, and I'll just walk you through each of these steps, and then I'll talk about like each platform. So the first thing that we have on here is Paperform. So that's the first thing you'll need. Um, Cloud Convert is the second, and you can use both of those applications for free for a pretty long time. I'm still using the Paperform for free, and Cloud Convert I've spent like a couple dollars. This other one is called Zero Code Kit. I believe you can use that one for free for a while, which we have been. So we have a couple different functions with that. Um, Chat GPT, so obviously you'll have to link your account that way, and then I'll show you guys. I'll just build this out with you. Placid app, which is this, and email, which is just how we're going to be sending it. Also, you can't see in here, but let me go to the card. So we're actually going to be building. Um, so here is like the micro SaaS that we've built today, or that I've already had built that I'll be building with you guys. So it's the thumbnail guy. So all this thing that, and it's just like a fun little name. Have another member of my team, or I've made some of these as well. You can just like in Canva or in a simple like logo designer, you just make a logo or whatever, put it on there, and come up with a name, and then transforms text into viral YouTube thumbnails. Return your ideas into eye-catching YouTube thumbnails in seconds. And then I just have in here the actual stuff, like the thing that's going to be you're filling out. So name, email, the video's topic, the description, the background image file, the image of the person file, and then like a logo. And then this free test is what I have in there to actually be like just be testing this, so we don't have to like pay for it, obviously, even though it would go to our own account. But just while I've been testing, I have this free thing in there. But like what you guys could do is when you're building something like this or building one out like this, you can set up your pricing however you want, and it's really easy to do. You can link like your Stripe, your PayPal, or there's a couple others as well. But yeah, once they're linked, this can actually like accept payments, and it has its own URL and everything. If you want to actually be able to like follow along properly and build this how I have it built, you can use this is called Card. You can use the free version, but you actually won't be able to embed the form. So like the part that actually takes payments and everything without actually paying for Card. It was like $19 for the whole year, so it's pretty cheap. But in order to use like some of the functions within here, you need to pay for it in order to be able to like build what we're building. Um, but I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of show you guys how this works now. I'm going to go over and open a new make window. So just log in. I'm going to go ahead and move that over there. New make window. Create a new scenario. And we're just going to start like this. I'll actually show you guys building this out as well. So how about we start with that actually. Let me just go new site. And we'll just call it, so here's like when you're building a new site, you can kind of like pick from a ton of different templates and stuff. I've just been using this one because it's pretty easy to work with. I'm just going to build the thumbnail guy one again just so I can show you guys exactly like how to build that specific one. But if there's any other type of like thing you've either seen on our page or automation that you have that you want made into something like this, feel free to reach out to us as well. I could definitely help with something like that. But the site title, we'll just call it thumbnail guy. And really cool. On here, it's like super easy to edit. So the other one we went with like, why don't I actually name this one like thumbgo guy, like test. I won't actually like run this specific one. I'll build it out with you guys, but I'm gonna show you how the output like from the other one. So the color pattern we went with, let me move this over here. The color pattern we want to go with is like very easy to like select. So I think we went with like gold for all these. And the cool thing you can do also is just copy that so we don't actually have to figure it out. Text transforms your ideas into viral YouTube thumbnails. And obviously I can't spell. But we'll go like that. We can go like this. And you see how this is like a gradient on that? If you just scroll down, you could just change them both to the same. And that will do that as well. Also, I'm just going to say turns your ideas into visually stunning thumbnails. Visually stunning thumbnails. Okay. And then if we want this to be that color too, we'll go bang. Really easy. And then here, super easy. The thumbnail guy one. Boom, I believe it's this. We'll hit accept, and now you're up there. And then the alternate text is like, helps for like SEO, and I'm pretty sure if someone's like blind or something like that and the page like reads to them, this is like in the alt text box for like your image. So I just been calling them like thumbnail guy logo done. This email thing we're gonna remove. These we can remove. But like as you could see, you could build this so that there's like a contact form on something like this, or yeah, lots of things like that. And then the background, we actually want to do a purple, right? A purple. Maybe a darker purple. Cool. Copy that. We made on the other one, I believe this is the purple, Control V. And then if we go background, we can go background color, and we could actually get like this. Background, color. But really cool thing is if we want, we can now go get, oh, not that. We get this color. And then back here, you see how like we have these dots or grids, we could use like boxes, and we actually give it the purple. Okay, so you can kind of see like how the background was coming in like from that other one now. The next thing we want to do is actually add this embed. So I know it looks kind of scary, but from here we're actually all good. And just to make this like easier, I'm gonna go back over to here. So you see we have like our our forms built in Paperform once you have like an account. But I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what's on the actual thumbnail guy one, just so we don't have to rebuild it. But I'll show you how like you work with it. So title, obviously, and then when you highlight it, that's where you can select like heading 1, center it, that kind of thing. And then image, all you got to do is when you want like here, you just select image and then you upload like that. We're gonna delete this if I can, maybe. There we go. Oh, Control Z. So there. But yeah, then this is like the thing. And then for adding questions, really easy. You just go here and hit add questions. And then at the bottom, you just hit add more. So you can do whatever kind of questions you want. And then in this, you actually can select from all different types of like upload types. And then the way that you can actually do pricing is you could have this be like a price, like multiple prices for different things on here. Or you can go ahead and create products, which I found to be the easiest way. And you just go like manage products, and you literally just, there's no like saving here or anything. All you do is just start creating. You call the name or whatever. You can add images, set the price, like the actual value of the unit, if there's stock, if you're like shipping or something like that. Yeah, and then here's just like my free one or whatever. Close. And then I'll show you also, if you go to theme and appearance, all you'll have to do is just like edit the color in the boxes that you're working with, so like the background, purple, perfect. And then also one thing to note is if you don't flip this box, it will have this like on your page, it will have this white background, so it doesn't look phenomenal. So if you check that though, you're perfect. We just go save changes now. And then also what we can do is go after submission and then like a page here. So they'll see congratulations, you'll receive an email with your thumbnail shortly, and then we have a submit again button. But we can also create like a redirect or like have like a video or something on that page, or a million different things really, whatever kind of ideas and stuff you got. But the thing that we need to do now is you go to share, go to embed, and inline embed. Now I know it's like looks complicated, all that, some code, but all you need to do is copy that. When you're in embed, it just inline embed, really easy. Nothing else you have to do. So now we go back to the card, right? And in this bubble where it's like code, we're going to go ahead and label this thumbnail guy. The style is inline code, and we're just going to put that. Done. So now we're actually basically all done with actually building the site part of it and like the front end. What we're going to do in Make is actually set up and build out the back end of this so that, you know, when someone actually submits this or pays for your thing, something actually happens. And for these, I just been going like turns your ideas into viral YouTube thumbnail. Also, one thing to note though is obviously the quality of like the thumbnail is kind of reliant on the images. We deal with like all the removing backgrounds and resizing and all that in the back end, but if there's the quality of the image is not that great, it's gonna affect the quality of the output. But I'll show you guys that in a second. And then here's like a really cool part where you would type in here and we would just call it, let's just call it like thumbnail guy. Oh, this one might work, but I already used this once. Thumbnail guy. Yeah, so what if we call this like thumbnail guy test? Yeah, publish. Cool. So then we want to visit site. Here you go. Oh, and the purple's wrong, obviously, because I didn't take the purple from, what's it called? But you would just literally get the background and put the same purple, if that makes sense. But yeah, now let's get into actually building out the back end. And this won't actually be doing anything until we have that set up. So like you could fill this out, but you're not actually going to get any you're not going to get any result from that, if that makes sense. So let me just go back. So we're in our new scenario now. I'm actually going to not do that. Let me get back over here. The first thing we want to actually start with is a paper form. Paper form. Boom, new submission. Real easy, create a hook. We'll just connect it to the Blue Marlin Marketing thumbnail guy one. So I'm just gonna link it to the, I'm gonna go back real quick, dashboard. So this is the new one that says test, obviously, that we just made. I'm gonna go ahead and just link this to the old one to, for like running the outputs and stuff, just because I know that it, just because I don't feel like having to like save this and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna build this one, connect to our other site basically, but they operate the exact same way. Let's just get into that then. So once we have that, our form then, see, like we have these here, thumbnail guy. Boom. We're all set. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is go cloud convert. So what I'm actually going to do is just paste in these models. I'll show you guys. Copy module, paste, copy module, paste. But what you're going to want to do is import a cloud convert that's convert a file, okay? And then in here, we actually want to go import from URL, and we need to clear these out. Boom. So in order to actually like test this properly, we'll go unlink like this, and we're just gonna actually run just this bubble so we can get some outputs. Let me run once. So it's gonna go on and wait for a new submission. So if we actually go back over to thumbnail guy, where we're actually gonna submit this, we would go our name, whatever email we want to use, the topic, like I've already written these, so I'm just gonna do it like that. The background URL, boom, image, there, choose a file, there, okay. And then obviously we're gonna do our free test, hit submit, boom, we're good. So then we go back to make, and now this is actually run, so we'll have like outputs from there. So if we go connect this, let me actually delete. Let me go copy again, copy module, paste. So we're gonna go ahead and connect that. And then in there, we know now like what we wanna actually get from. So we wanna import the URL, and this is for the person, which I've already named it that. So whatever question, so that's the background. So this is the person. So we actually want to go into here, then we want to drop the value, and we want to get the URL. Easy enough. And then for the name, I've just been doing that, like left image, and then I was just doing like the name. It really doesn't matter. You can kind of pick whatever. Download file if you want. Copy module, paste. Here is the logo one. We'll go in here and do that as well. So there's for the logo, value, URL. Cool. Second, we'll just call it the name. Okay. And the third part is the background. Copy module, paste. So it's pretty simple. We just will go in here, link that. The background one is that one, value, URL, okay. And then you want to make sure you want to say import your file from a URL, so you can actually put that in there. And then you could do output as PNG or JPEG. It's kind of dependent. I've just been using PNGs. Those are kind of like the two defaults that I've been, we'll just call it title, whatever. And then no, don't download a file. Okay, so that's all for the cloud convert stuff. The next thing we're going to add is actually removing the background from the person and the logo. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that. Copy module, paste. So here's the one that's going to actually remove the background from the person. So all this guy is doing is from the person. So all this one is going to do is take the temporary URL and be good. The second one, if we go copy module, paste, is for the logo to remove the background. So we don't need to remove the background, obviously, since that's going to take up the whole thing. So we're just going to go like that, and then we'll get logo, we'll get our temporary URL. Okay. And then this next part is going to be the more difficult part, where there's some actual like code that I've retrieved from ChatGPT to use here. I'm actually going to have this shared on our in our community too, so the actual code with comments and all that, but I'll also walk you through like what actual stuff needs to be changed in these next 3 blocks. But yeah, let me go ahead and get started with that. So copy module. So what these 3 pieces are all about to do is actually resize the images to the size that we've set up on our Placid app, which I'll show you guys in 1 sec once I've pasted these. Copy, paste, and then background, copy, paste. Okay, so those are in there. But if we go to our Placid app now and hit edit, so this is the actual design of the thumbnail that will be getting laid out. So header, subheader, background, 1 image, 2 image. So if we go over here and actually look at the sizing, so that's the background, this is the side image, and then this is the small image. So what that next section does, which I'll go back into here, is actually resizes each like each of the images so that it'll actually fit for a thumbnail, so it'll make sense and not just like have wacky like out of size stuff. Like I said, I'll have the code in the description or in the community below, but just remember, if you're doing the same thing that I'm building, there's requirements thing for Pillow, and if you're using like the same code, you'll have to like manually write in Pillow. It's not just like if you copy and paste this into here. But I'm actually going to show you what we changed. So right here, this normally, if we go to ChatGPT, it's actually your image here. So that's what it would say. But you replace your image, or replace with your image URL. So the way that we're going to do that is it's literally getting the URL from, because this is resizing the person, it's getting the URL from here, if that makes sense. And then the next thing on here is target width and target height. So if you remember, those are both set to like 200 or something on here, and we replace them with our desired. So for the person, these were our desired measurements, 458 and 688. So that's how we knew what to put in for these. And then there's nothing else you have to do besides paste that in there. You're good. For the logo, same concept. I'm actually going to click just to show you. So for the logo, you get image URL, and for the person, we get image URL. And then the sizing, same sort of deal, 360 and then 127 for that second little image. Like if we go here, 360, 127. That makes enough sense to me. Okay, and then the background, same concept, but we're getting the URL because we didn't run it through a remove background. We're just going to get this temporary URL, which works perfect. And then the background, if we go back over here, 1280 by 720. And in Placid, you could actually like build this out, add more like different text boxes or different text or different pictures or things like that, like all over this thing. And you can just have it blank almost like this. And you can we're going to use ChatGPT to actually write our header, write our subheader. And if we had other text on here, it would also. So like if you want to sell like a more advanced, more complicated one of these, you could, and that's how like you can do like your different pricing or whatever. And then here's also like how the submit looks. But like you can do your other pricing and stuff, and it actually makes sense that way. Like you could have different products if you wanted to use a different image, you know. But yeah, that's just a thing to to note, and then there's our sizing. So then the next things we're going to do are ChatGPT. Paste. So we're going to be creating a completion. So you want to go OpenAI, create a completion. And if your account's not connected, you're going to, like, if you have to add it, you're going to need your API key. So you'll have to go to like OpenAI .playground, and then in there, just like API keys and generate a new one. It'll ask you like a couple quiz questions, that kind of thing, to try and make sure you're a real person. But what we're gonna do in here is, once we're connected, we selected the 4.0 system, which it should have when this loads, like every one that it's got. Yeah, 4.0 system. And then you can obviously pause and write this anytime you want, but working for, and then what I did was I just went and put name, and then obviously you can go like back into here and see like video topic, so there. And then the description we know is this next one, so short description value there. Okay, and then we just have the max token set to 1,000, and feel free to copy this, or if you don't feel like that, the download will be available below. And then same thing for this body list, users the role, GPT-4. They are working for their name. And obviously you could put in like a company name question on your sheet or something like that if you wanted to. Like you can be as specific or least specific as you want, whatever information you think that you want to provide ChatGPT to help you, or well, really any large language model you could do, because you could use like Claude or Perplexity in here as well. But like that's just like another thing to know. And then how we get the header from like the last one is choices, message, content. Okay, and then same sort of deal, 1,000 tokens. We're gonna hit OK. And the next thing we're gonna need is our Placid app. So boom, and then that's the template. You'll just go in here and actually select whatever template you want to use. That's the one we're using. So the image URL, or so the background image URL, we should be getting from there. So from the resize, boom. So the resize edits the actual like URL, if that makes sense. So these images should be in here, right? Yeah. So we got the for the background. Where's the background? Oh, remove background. Okay, so these two are for the person and that. And then the background, I use the temporary URL, I believe. Yeah, I use a temporary URL. It should still be good. And then the text, your first text, well, one of these is labeled, yeah, okay, so header. So then easy, we'll just go to our header, choice, message, content, done. And then in here, we want to go to our body, message, content, done. And then this one is the URL. Okay. If I could hit OK. Something missing. Background, we'll just use temporary URL. Okay. Sorry, am I missing something? Okay, cool. And then the last one we have, I'm just going to copy that as well. Paste in here is an email module. So the email address you want to actually send to, if you remember, is we had a question where they answered that. And then in the actual like email that we'll send them, name, we can be like personalized, because you can go, hey, like first name, and then the image or whatever. So I would just use the image URL from Placid app. Okay. So then we're like this. So everything in here should be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and move that real quick. Grab the other one. Boom. So this automation is the exact same. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how the actual thing runs. I'm just going to do it once. But what you would want to do is when you're actually like setting this up to run, like when people are entering it, you you want to make sure that this is set to immediately, and you want to just leave this thing on. One thing to note is if you don't pay for Make, you can only run like 2 of these at any given time. So if you wanted to build like a bunch of different like micro SaaS type bots things, you may have to pay for a Make subscription depending on how many you want to run. But yeah, so let me just get started on this. Let's go ahead and hit run. Oh, hit run. Maybe. It's loading. Run once. Save. Run once. Let me refresh this. So it's gonna actually run for the one that I just submitted from before. Congratulations. Yeah, when I like ran one test with the other one to do it. But in here, we're actually, if we hit submit again, it will literally just put us back at the top, and they could rebuy or do whatever. And you could obviously have more products. It doesn't have to be just that. But yeah, the automation takes a couple minutes to run here, like maybe a minute and a half, sometimes 2. Depends on like the file type and all that, if it has to like convert it and everything. So the cool thing about these is because they generate that temp URL, it gives you a lot more things that you can actually work with, because you know what file is you actually are working with. Because when you're putting it into there, and I was originally not having it like convert, even though I thought I knew what file types they were, it was having all sorts of errors and stuff. So by adding those just to convert to, even if they were already that file, just by converting them to JPEG or PNG, and that being like the URL that they're using, that actually makes this whole flow work. And as you can see, it's not instant, obviously, but it's really quick if you just have this thing running in the background, and on their thing they'll fill this out, and then when they hit submit, they'll be getting that like personalized custom email with that thing in it. And you see we're all done now. Let me go ahead and pull up the actual email in a second when I get it. Okay, let me move this over here. So you'll get an email like this. Obviously, because I just used like a link, there's better formatting for this. Obviously, this is just for the video. Like you could have images and all sorts of stuff, or even like link to your website, or hey, check out this other thing on here, all sorts of stuff. But from just what I put in, like that background, the image, and then our thing, obviously it's not like the most perfect because I didn't use the best images in the world, and my ChatGPT prompt, I'll still have to like mess with that, change it. But just for like testing purposes, you get like a pretty good outcome. And obviously the way that this image is like shaped and how these things are located, let me go ahead and get that out of the way, is entirely based on here. So if you were to like in your Placid app build out something different, your result could be in a completely different like look, basically. So, and you could obviously don't need to have your header and subheader. You could have like a couple different paragraphs or things like that. So we've actually used this for like our social media posting and stuff like that. And I made another video about that, which you guys can also see on the channel. But the real important thing to note is that you guys can really take this and do anything you want from there. And you can really start making money on this today. I mean, if you get this listed and you start getting like the URL out there, since you do get this like URL and other people can use it, it's not just for your own use, if that makes sense. It's how you can actually charge for it. But getting that URL out there, like putting it on your YouTube or making videos or on your Instagram posting about it or your other social media, or building something like this for a client that you may have. Yeah, so those are all possible things to work with. Feel free to let any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. And I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Have a good one.